Hey everyone, this is Anthony, your DDI engineer. In the last video, we installed and configured a BDDS and added it to the BAM so it can start managing the server. In this video, we're going to patch both the BAM and the BDDS. So let's get started. So let's go to the administration tab. On the left-hand side, let's go to version management, which is exclusively for updating and patching the BlueCat Address Manager, the BAM. Then let's click on the software update link. Within the software update page, we have available software updates. That's software updates. And then under that, we have upload address manager update. So upload address manager update that also includes patching. So interesting note here, and you'll see this in a minute, is available software update. It allows you to upload software updates into the address manager database. And then at a different time, you can apply the update. So in an example of a production environment where, let's say, for example, you have a small change window, you can, prior to the change window, you can upload the software update, which sometimes could be a gig, 2 gigs or more, upload it into the BAM DB, and then within your change window, all you need to do is apply the apply the software update. And as you'll see, that will save you tons of time. Now, in this video, I'm not going to record the time it takes to upload the file, but I will tell you how long this particular update takes to upload in my lab environment, which shouldn't be too long because everything is local. But there are cases, especially in a production environment, the BAM may be in the cloud, it may be geographically, you might be even if this is lab environment, you may be very far, or the latency between you and the BAM might be very high, and that is one of multiple variables on why it can take a long time, 10, 30 minutes to upload this software update into the BAM DB. When it comes to patching, the patch files are usually much smaller. And because of that, when uploading the patch file, it will ask you to apply the patch at that time. Okay, so in a change window, when it comes to patches, you have to upload the file within a change window and then apply the patch at that moment. Okay, so let's start with updating the software from 9.4.0 to 9.4.1. So I'm going to go to choose file, and then I'm going to go to my folder 9.4.1. And let me expand this a little bit here. And the file that I'm going to grab is the BAM underscore update underscore 9.4.1 dash 033 dash rel dash 258.ga. And the extension is .tar.gz. This is the file that you want to get. So I'm going to double click on that. And then I'm going to go to click on the link, choose file for the key security file. And in the same folder, the file is going to have a .key extension. And then I'm going to hit submit. So at this time, it's going to start uploading the file into my BAM, which is local on my machine. So this is going to take a little bit, it's going to be much quicker. As we can see here, it says update confirmation. This is a general a notification. Applying the update could cause the server to restart and be inaccessible for some time. Would you like to continue? So this is a very generic message that you'll get that is not always, this is not always true. So it may not affect services. It may not affect your BAM specifically. It's very important to look at the release notes prior to updating, upgrading, patching your BAM or BDDS. In the release notes, it will also tell you if it will affect services. Some patches do not affect services. And in terms of an update at the very least will restart Proteus, it'll restart services, it'll restart your BAM, and of course, it'll log you out. So I'm going to hit yes. Okay, and we have a window here that says update, progress, and it's initializing. We can see as well that it does say server is unavailable during this time. So that means that users will not be able to access the BAM GUI, most likely. If you have any tools, anything that's using the APIs, that may affect services as well. Users will not be able to log in, nor will they be able to use APIs to access the BAM. All right, so we are done. Update completed. Click here to log in. So on my local machine within a local VM, that took about, I would say, at least 10 minutes. All right, so license agreement, I accept. Okay, and then log in again, admin, default username and password. And hey, look at that, 9.4.1. Now, this is the easiest way of verifying the you're on an updated version. You can also go to the administration tab again, go back to version management. Let's go to version history. And we can see here, we have 9.4.1 from version 9.4.0. So I'm going to go back to administration and then version management exclusively for the BAM. Again, back to software update. And now I'm going to apply the patch. So I'm going to go to Address Manager Update, click on the link here, choose File. I'm going to select rel 304. And in this list of files, I'm looking for a file with the extension .tar.gz. Okay, again, I'm going to select choose file, and this is for the public key security file. In the same directory, I'm looking for a file with the extension .key. Perfect. I'm going to hit submit. Okay, and then confirm application of update. This is again a generic message. Applying the update could cause server to restart and be inaccessible for some time. Would you like to continue? Again, this is a generic message. Look at the release notes to determine if this is going to affect services or not, and how it will affect services by reading the release notes. I'm going to hit yes. And it's updating. Currently initializing. Okay, and the update progress has been completed. Click here to log in. So again, I'm going to log in with the default username and password of admin, and go back to the administration tab, back to version management. I'm going to go to version history, and I can see here that rel 304 has been applied. For BlueCat DNS DHCP server, we do that by going to the administration tab again. And instead of going to version management, which again is exclusive for the BAM, the BlueCat Address Manager, we're going to go one step down and we're going to go to the BlueCat DNS DHCP server patches. All right. So what we can see, there's two sections here. So there is the upload the BlueCat DNS DHCP server patch. And then under that, we can see available server patches. Now, because we upgraded the BAM to 9.4.1, this patch is automatically available to us. Okay. Now, any other patches like the patches we're going to apply after this one, we will have to manually add it. It doesn't become available when you upgrade the BAM. All right. So the first step is we need to apply this update patch. Okay. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the servers tab. Okay. And there's two ways of doing this. We can place a check beside the server or servers. So if I had more than one server, I could apply this update to more than one server at the same time. Okay. Or I can select the name. So if I select this and I select the gear, I'm going to select apply patch. Okay. Again, I can also click on the name of the server. I can select the drop down here and I can select apply patch. It does not matter how you do it. Both goes in the same direction. So once I hit apply patch, available patches, if I select the down arrow, I can only see one for available patches. So I will hit yes. And it's loading. All right. The DNS server was successfully patched. I'm going to hit OK. And if I scroll down, let me refresh that actually. Okay, perfect. So looking at the patch history, I can see that it was patched to 9.4.0.674. This is version 9.4.1. Perfect. So the next step is I'm going to go to the administration tab. I'm going to go back to BlueCat DNS DHCP server patches. Again, the available patch that I applied was 9.4.1. I'm now going to apply the remaining patches available to me. So I'm going to start off with going to the choose file. I'm going to go to my BlueCat files, my BDDS, and I'm going to start off with rel 304. I'm going to look for the file. Oops, I just moved everything around. I'm going to look for the file with the extension .tar, which is this one here. And I'm going to click on the choose file for public key file, which has the extension .key. And I'm going to select add file. So you can see here now that I've hit add file, under where it says available BlueCat DNS DHCP server patches, I can see that rel 304 has been added. Now let's add the other patch, choose file. So instead of 304, I'm going to now add rel 335. I'm looking for the extension .tar, public key file .key, add file. Perfect. Now I have both rel 304 and rel 335. Okay, now that I've uploaded the patches, I'm going to go to the servers tab again. And sometimes you have to click on the servers tab twice to get to the page that you like, or in any of the tabs. If you don't, when you click on it, if it's not where it's supposed to be, click on it twice and it'll get you to the main section of that tab. All right. Now, again, two ways of doing this. I can place a check beside the list of servers that I want to apply this patch to. One patch you can only apply one patch at a time, but you can apply the same patch to multiple servers at once. So again, I can place a check, and then at the gear, I can go to apply patch, or I can click on the name. So in this time, I'm going to click on the gear and select apply patch. Again, doesn't matter how you do it. Okay. And then with the available patches, I now have 3 instead of the 1. I'm going to start off with rel 304 and I'm going to hit yes. And it's loading. All right, the patch was successfully applied. Again, if I select now that to confirm that the patch was applied, the easiest way of doing that is by clicking on the name of the server, scrolling down and looking at the patch history. I can see now that rel 304 has been applied. I'll do the exact same thing with the last patch. So I'm going to go to apply patch again. And the last one is rel 335. I'm going to hit yes. And let that load. Okay, the second patch has been applied successfully. I'm going to hit OK. Again, if I scroll down, I can see the patch update and the version, which is rel 335. Amazing. So we have successfully updated and patched the BlueCat Address Manager to 9.4.1 with the latest and greatest patch. And then we went to the servers tab, and of the managed servers that I have listed, we were able to upgrade the BDDS, BlueCat DNS DHCP server from 9.4.0 to 9.4.1, and then apply the available software security patches released by BlueCat. The last piece that I like to talk about here is reverting a patch or rolling back a patch that you applied to the BAM or the BDDS. Now, this is important to understand how to do, because imagine you're in a production environment and imagine you're in a maintenance window, and you apply the patches or the patch, and then everything seems to be successful. You get the message in the GUI, the patch is applied, and the CLI, the patch is applied successfully. Awesome, you get the green light. And then when you start validating if the services are working normally, you realize they're not. The DNS server is not responding to queries. The DHCP server with the same role on the same BDDS, it's not handing out leases. What's going on? You'll spend time troubleshooting, and if you can't fix it, you're going to have to remediate. To remediate, since the last thing you did was apply the patch, the most likely fix is to remove the patch. And to do that, we're going to go through a few steps right now, and I'm going to show you how to remove or roll back a patch that you applied. It's not, and there's no order. It doesn't have to from the last patch to the first patch you applied. There is no order, but in this demo, I'm going to revert the patch that we just applied, which was rel 335. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to open up, I have WinSCP. Okay, there's many ways that you can access the BDS CLI. This is just easier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto the BDDS, the SCP, or sorry, yeah, SFTP 192.168.245.4. User ID and password. The default for an OVA, or sorry, an ISO is root. I haven't changed it yet. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the temp directory. Okay. So the next step is I need to place the the file, the rel335, the dot run file. So I'm gonna drag that right in there. Okay, just expand that. So you can see I dropped in the bdds.run.zip file. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, now that it's in that temp directory on the BDDS, I'm going to open up the CLI here. Okay, I'm going to log in. I guess I got logged out. Okay. So log back in. And what I want to do is, again, I've logged in as root. So I have root access. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the temp directory, change directory /tmp. Now I can see here that I have the file that is dropped in there is listed here. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in unzip space, the name of the file, BDDS. Okay, enter. And you can see I tabbed that. You know, it's obvious I didn't type that quickly. I just did a tab. Enter. Okay, done. All right. And now I'm going to change the permissions. So I have full access to that file. Okay, done. And now I'm going to type in rollback. And it's asked me, do I want to continue the rollback? I'm going to say yes. And it says we're done. All right. So now let me quickly confirm here. I believe you should be able to see that within the GUI. If not, I'll show you how to do it, how to verify that the patch has been removed another way. So if I select the DNS server, okay, it looks like I just got locked out. Admin, default username and password. Go back to the servers tab, select the DNS server that I performed a rollback on. If I scroll down, let me do a refresh just to confirm. Okay, so in the patch history, it says I applied the patch. It does not say that I performed a rollback. So that might be a feature request, but let's find out if we can verify another way. So if I select the name of the server and I go to view logs, if I go to update view, so if I scroll all the way down, okay, so I can see that the rollback was successfully executed. Okay, and this is for rel335. So the rollback was successful. Removing update files, remove temporary reboot not required, reboot file not found, will not reboot. Okay, so we can see within the logs that the file, the patch has been removed. Unfortunately, it does not provide that information in the patch history. So that could be conflicting. I mean, if you can imagine looking at the patch history, if this isn't removed when you remove it from the CLI, this can obviously create some confusion, especially if you imagine never apply rel335 in the future on this BDDS because of an issue. And instead of applying that patch, you apply another patch that fixes a problem with the patch you applied. Either way, that's a bit confusing. It's a feature request, definitely 9.4. That may be fixed in 9.5. But there are also other ways, looking at the logs, in addition to what I already did in the GUI. Um, Again, viewing logs here, but you can also go in the CLI. There's other logs that you can view that have similar information that'll help you validate that. So, hey guys, I really appreciate it. Again, thank you for working with me on upgrading my BAM to 9.4.1, getting it patched to the latest and greatest version. We were able to upgrade the BDDS to 9.4.1 as well, and it also has the latest and greatest patches. Actually, -1 because we removed RHEL 335. So I hope this information. I hope the video was useful. I hope it was informative. And the next video I'm planning to create is how to restore a database and how to perform backups and different types of backups available to us, both local and remote. All right. Well, thanks again. Have a great day.